palm reading of a male. I do not know his particular age, but we are reading his hand. Let's start now. The main questions asked by you is regarding money or wealth generation and sustainability, luck and health. You also wanted to know something related to any other symbol or sign that you need to be aware of. The first question we would be dealing is regarding money, possessions, wealth, and wealth generation. To look for these particular things, there should be some positive signs every person should have, and one of them is a prominent padded mount of Venus. And we find that this area appears to be very good padded, and when the padding of the mount of Venus is good, it brings more qualities of Venus inside you. The Venus mount depicts energy, stamina, vitality, desires. And see, everybody normally would say that, oh, I've got lots of desires, I want lots of money. These are the things that you would constantly hear. But people don't have burning desires. But when we find a hand something like this, it is a short sign of burning desires that these people make it happen. So this area is the area for luxuries. This is the area for vitality. This is the area for all the material things in your life. So such a person would automatically desire lots of material things in their life, and they would try to make it happen right now. It's not that at a later stage. And they would also be spend thrift as well. They would basically first have a desire to make money, they would make money, then they would use that money to buy all these things in their life. And they might even overspend compared to what they actually earn. In comparison, see, a person could also be much more richer than this particular person. They may not spend as much, but this particular person is likely to spend a lot of amount. When the mount of Venus is prominent, as we see in this particular case, it is indicative of these people are extremely warm by nature. What is Venus? Venus is a warm planet. Venus is a warm planet. It is a dense planet. Dense basically means all the energy, and warm planet basically means all the warmth within you. In spite of being not the closest planet to the sun, even then it is the warmest planet. And the warmth within this particular person is likely to attract many people around them. Many more partnerships and many more relationships basically could happen in their life. And see, how we earn, we make partnerships. And 1 plus 1 is not 2, 1 plus 1 basically becomes 11. So this is what I'm trying to convey out here. So a prominent Venus gives the possibility of a person making good amount of money in their life. The desire needs to be there because every person does not have that kind of a burning desire, and this has always been there throughout their life. It has always been there, so it's going to remain throughout their life. Now let us look at the heart line. The heart line, this is the line of heart. Normally people would think that the heart line is the line of relationships and partnerships. I do agree, it is the line for relationships and partnerships, but at the same time, this line is also the line of your inner inclination, your heart inclination. Where is your heart targeting? Your heart is targeting towards the mount of Saturn. The heart line is ending under the mount of Saturn. So what it basically means is that the heart is desiring what Saturn is. Saturn is a very slow moving planet. It is the planet for money, possessions, wealth, wisdom, responsibility, sadness, depression, and many of these things, and being lonely. So those are the many things basically is represented by Saturn. And Saturn is all about hard work. So such a person is always wanting money, always, like, the heart is towards money. Saturn, the heart line is towards Saturn, so it basically means the heart is desiring money all throughout their life. Even when the person is young, the person would still would have valued money. the person would have basically spent a lot of money because of the good amount of Venus and a prominent amount of Venus, but at the same time, the person would not have wasted their money completely. They would have overspent it, but even in spite of overspending them, they would have been wise with money. So this is what is represented by the heart line ending under the amount of Saturn. Most good businessmen would have a heart line that ends under the amount of Saturn. Most people who are working, are in some profession and are making good amount of money would have this kind of an indication. This kind of a person is likely to invest and multiply their money because they are valuing money. They know the worth of money. So these people are the ones who multiply money. So some people, they would have the heart line end under the amount of Jupiter, which is, in this case, it is not true. It would have meant they would not value money. It's not that they wouldn't get money, but they wouldn't be able to value that particular money, and that is the reason they may not get as much as they can. So this is a very good indication in this particular hand where the heart line is ending on the amount of Saturn. The curvature in the heart line towards the end means that these people are passionate and display of emotions is there, and they are very expressive with their emotions. Now don't misunderstand that these people are emotional people. These people are absolutely zero. They are not in idealism. They are not very touchy kind of people. They are purely and purely realistic people. This is what is the quality of Saturn. Saturn people are very grounded people. So these people are highly grounded people. They know the ground situations very well. So this is a beautiful sign to have. Any person who has this particular sign would be able to make good amount of money. These people may claim that they are very, very emotional, but actually they are not emotional. They are just expressive with their emotions. So there's a difference between expressive with your emotion and being more emotional. Now the quality of the heartline matters in your success. And if there are constant breaks, constant abruptness in the heartline, that would automatically mean being totally flirtatious. Flirtatious doesn't mean purely flirting with the opposite sex or any kind, but what it basically means is flirting with your job as well and not being able to focus your energies very well. But in this particular case, we only find that there is one single breakout here, and then there's continuity in the heart line. Yes, there is another branch. Branches are also a little bit negative, but this comes a little bit at a later stage. And a branch on the heart line does mean distraction, falling for temptations, not being able to focus completely. But because the main quality of the heart line is good, so that is a reason why we would say that everything is fine. Basically, we don't have to worry too much about it. We only have to worry if the heart line was unclear. The heart line, if it was unclear, I normally would say the person cannot be successful. The heart line tells how much dedication is there, how much basically the focus is there. So such a person would be highly focused, and detachment also the person practices, because there are not too many branches over the heartline. If there were too many branches, I would have said too many distractions. So those are not the things that I see out here. Minor distractions are there. These minor distractions could be there, and this is a major distraction, but nothing too much to worry about. Now the question was regarding success. Now, to be able to be successful, you need to have certain qualities inside you. Without having quality, even if you're extremely lucky, even then it would be of no use, absolutely no use. So the main quality required to make money is the skills. The area for skills, calculations, and communication should be good. This is the area for statistics, economics, biology, chemistry. This is the area for law. This is the area for physics. This is the area for computer science. This is the area for networking. This is the area for social media networking, everything. It's not that such a person would be a perfect in all these things, but even if we are perfect in one or two things, we can be extremely good. So the indication out here is that the person does have a perpendicular, main perpendicular line out here. Now there are minor lines are also out here. These minor lines are also out there. So which is okay. And there is a long line also that we see out here. So this is also a good line basically that we see. So when we find that they are deep and clear line of Mercury, it is indicative of the person has got good set of skill. A person who has got good set of skills, the chances for making money increases. So without having good communication, without having good calculation, how can you make money? So people who have deep and clear lines are the ones who are constantly trying to sharpen their skills. The weaker line basically would mean that they have yet to sharpen that extra skill, some new skill. So when we find 3-4 lines, we say multiple set of skills. So there are 3-4 lines, we say multiple set of skills are likely to be there. Now you would have noticed I have not talked about the line of money as yet. I don't give too much importance to the line of money. Yes, it is important, but it is not as important as we generally think it to be. And the quality of the money line is good. It is starting on the mount of this is starting on the mount of moon, and moon is the area for trading activity and service industry. So the money line is starting on the mount of moon. It basically means help from foreign countries or betterment in foreign countries or from foreigners. In foreigners, male and female both could benefit. It could also mean from trading activity, service industry, or even travel as well. It could also mean lady luck. It could also mean lady luck could be any, like mother, sister, wife, daughter, female friends, and in foreigners, male and female both. So this is what is represented by this particular money line. So it's a good and stable line. Stable line means stability in your life. But at the same time, what we find is that this is the main line. And on this particular main line, there's a major, very major kind of a line, which is joining into the main line. So consider this particular main line to be a river. And this is a big tributary of water joining into the main line. So what it basically means is more flow coming in this particular person's life somewhere at this particular age. The intersection of the head and the money line is age 35. Therefore, this portion is before the age of 35. This portion is after the age of 35 till 53, and this is after the age of 53. So what we find is that somewhere at this particular age, this is the age we are seeking. This is age 35. This is likely to be approximately 26, 27, roughly, I would say. That's when major gains could have happened, and this is a beautiful, beautiful sign to have. And on the money line, you would notice another line kind of joins in somewhere close to this. If this is 35, this is 53. So this age is roughly going to be 40. This is roughly going to be 40. Another income starts, another source, and this is another line that starts at the age of 53. Then these lines are also there. So these are all good lines that we see. As far as the sun line goes, not many people would have a sun line, but in this case we find that there's a sun line. The earlier portion of the sun line may not be as good in comparison to this particular portion of the sun line. So this portion of the sun line is after the age of 53. So it's not that before the age of 53 anything is going to be lacking. See, we would not, although the sun line is seen as the line of luck, the line of name and fame, but I would say that this is the line of how much energies we are giving to our work. So the deeper the line, it means more the clarity on the path that you are traveling in. If you are traveling in on a car and there are clouds in front, so you have to slow down your speed. So when the line is a little bit dim, it means a little bit slow speed because of lack of clarity. When the line is very deep and clear, absolutely clear, it means absolutely clear around you, and basically you are able to speed up your car at a great speed. So this is what is represented by the sun line, and the sun line becomes extremely good after the age of 53. But normally the book basically says, this is what the book says. This is 27, this is 32, 35, 44, 53 and beyond. But in my calculation, if I find a line something like this, I would say for throughout the life, this particular line that we are referring to, this particular sun line that we are referring to. And even if you don't have a sun line, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter much. If you have good Mercury line, if you have got good amount of Venus, if you have a stable money line, and so those are the lines that are necessary. And if you have the heart line and under the amount of Saturn, so those are the lines that are very much required in order to be successful. It's not that you need to have a money line or the sun line, and without those lines you would be a beggar. So it isn't like that. So but we find all the qualities, all the ingredients of success out here, and it's the person would be able to multiply their money manyfold. Now, as far as the special sign goes, this is the special sign, deep and clear, simple line. Don't think that simple line means everybody has it. You would assume that a simple line would mean everybody basically has this and it's a very simple kind of a, no, it's not like that. These kind of lines are lacking in people's hand, and a simple line, the word is simple, but these simple lines are not apparently seen in people's hands. Now, if we look at the headline is something like this. So the headline, what happens is that normally the headline starts at the edge out here. This is how basically the headline starts, and this is how the lifeline starts. But in your case, what we find is that there's a slight upward tilt on your line of head from the mount of Jupiter. And there are one or two lines also joining into the main line of head or the lifeline, whichever you may call it. Mount of Jupiter is a big planet. Big planet means growth, expansion, honor, respect, position, and power in your life. So if there are good signs on your mount of Jupiter, and this line is joining into your headline, it means your mind is seeking honor. So mind seeking honor means you would desire to be at a higher position. The headline starting somewhere on the mount of Jupiter means your mind is totally focused towards to reach a high position right from the early start of your life, right from when you were a kid. So aspiring to be at a high position means that you are automatically going to be targeting a higher position, and that's the reason you would be getting those higher positions in your life. There's a slight negative kind of a line, a minor negative kind of a line, small line leaning a little bit downwards, pointing towards the mount of moon. And if the whole headline kind of points out here, it's all okay. But if a minor line points, and specifically in the early portion of your life, that could be seen as a negative sign, because what it basically would mean is mental disappointment at a very early age, around the age of, let's say, early 20s. There would have been some good as well as bad signs. The bad sign is this. There's an upward line. These are good indications. This is a very good indication that I've already explained, so I won't explain it again and again. Few triangle-like formations on the lifeline. This is the triangle-like formation that I can see. So triangle-like formation probably basically means that the person would be able to build properties in their life, multiple properties in their life. And so mainly I've covered important lines out here. And I would just briefly take a look at the other hand images that you had sent me. And let me just go through these images as well. And I'm just trying to see if something different, some different look of the hand I can see and contribute something. Even on the left hand, similar kind of indications are there. I'm just briefly telling you, Jupiter line of head starting on the mount of Jupiter. So this is a very good sign that I won't explain again. It's a good sign. Very prominent mount of Venus, high desires. There's a money triangle like formation also on both the hands. So this is also good sign. So money triangle is basically a combination of three lines. The line of money, it needs to be stable. The money line needs to be stable in order to have a good money triangle. This Mercury line, good basically means good skills, and a good headline means good stability in the mind. All three combined basically gives you success. Without a stable mind, without good skills, and without a stable money line, you cannot be successful. The only thing different that we find on this particular hand is a break on the line of head. And a break on the line of head is under the mount of Saturn at the age of 35. So a break basically means mental breakdown or a total change in perception in your life, a total new personality that comes about. So this is something that I would discuss with you. This is a very important marking. Don't think that that successful people don't have it. Many top people, they have a breakout here. So it doesn't matter if you have got a break, but this is a major turnaround in your life at the age of 35. This sometimes could mean also depressive tendencies, sadness, all mental isolation. So those are the things that could have affected this particular person. Although because we find it on the left hand, so the probability of negative things happening are limited. It's not such at a great degree. The break on the heartline could mean an abrupt ending in a relationship or a partnership or the work that you're doing, but it may not have affected you completely. So in a very limited way, because your hand is very stable hand, and a stable hand would be able to face big problems and move ahead in their life. So the reading is complete out here, and then you can ask your further questions. We would talk. Thanks, bye, and take care.